action.
Is it going?
It's going.
We are screwing up worse than Channel 20 out here.
Yes, we're rolling, Jimmy.
Yeah, well, we were rolling. And we had answered about 10 of these questions, and the camera was not recording.
And it was great.
I'm
sorry you missed it. It was really our
great.
best work.
How can we ever repeat that? Well, we can. Yeah. Okay, we wandered up into the woods today. Maybe you could figure that out. There is an amphitheater over the hill, and they're having some kind of rowdy show, so I hope that doesn't interfere with our sound. I pulled 15 questions from my March Makes video. I have over 300 comments over there. I want to answer every single one of you personally, but at this point in time, it's not real practical. So I thought for the folks who asked direct questions that I would answer them in this video. And I want to thank you for all of your interest, all of your affirmation, compliments, generosity, you name it. You people rock. Well, Brad's gonna kick it off with question number 1.
How do you organize your closet?
How do I organize my closet? It is not stuffed, believe it or not. It has room for more garments, but there are a couple things I do. I use skinny velvet wing hangers. You can fit a lot on there. I keep seasonal clothes rotated out, so you won't find any summer clothes in there right now. I have gotten rid of probably 90% of my store-bought clothes, and I also have to donate to Goodwill. I haven't really done that with my homemade clothes, but I think I'm gonna have to for this summer because I wanna add a lot more sundresses.
Will you demo bias binding neck finish?
Yes, I will, and in fact I have. I love using purchased bias binding. Now I got stung in a forum, and I was told that using that makes clothing look homemade, and not in a good way. But I still stubbornly use it because I love the finish, I love the ease of working with it, and you'll see that I use the woven bias binding on knit clothing. Provided the neckline is big enough to get over my head, it works like a charm. So I'm a purchased bias binding fan.
All right, and next up, where do you find your wool jersey?
I bought my wool jersey at Vogue Fabric Store online. Keep going.
Sorry.
It might be in the shot, but.
Loved how you paired up the different fabrics to create an ensemble, whatever it is. Could you sometime make a video on how you choose them?
On how I choose fabrics?
Yes.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot that goes into it. I change my mind sometimes at the last minute, but I'm very much of the opinion that once you choose, you gotta stay with it and sew it. And you gotta get far enough into the project, so far enough into the project that you're interested and committed, because otherwise things are gonna, I don't feel like working on it today. And so I choose and then I start to sew pretty far in before I'll take a break. As far as how I pick the fabrics, I just pick them. I mean, I look at the envelope and I read the recommendations. So if it's a pattern for woven, I'm not gonna choose knit. And if it's a pattern for knits, I'm not gonna choose woven. I just wanna keep moving forward.
Some tips for shopping for fabric online.
Tips for shopping for fabric online. Am I repeating every question?
There is an echo out here.
There is an echo, okay. I buy 85% of my fabric online. Would you vouch for that, or?
Probably because of the lack of retail brick and mortar stores.
Yes, there is a lack of that. I thought you were gonna give me a hard time about buying fabric online.
Oh, that's for another video.
That's another video? Okay.
Unpublished.
I can definitely do a video about tips for buying fabric online. It's not that difficult. it is a bit of a hump to get over if you've never done it. And it feels a little scary. You will get some duds. That's just kind of the nature of the beast, but you won't get very many because you can read the descriptions and look for those words that are going to guide you, i.e., one example, tissue weight, anything. If I see that, I keep going. I don't want tissue weight. I don't want to wear tissue weight anything. But it's a trial and error learning process, and I would love to share my tips.
We'll skip number 6.
It's a little bright out here.
Would love you to do a video telling us how and when you learned to sew.
How and when I learned to sew. I was invited to an ASG, that's American Sewing Guild, event to speak about just that. And I declined because I thought it would be boring. I learned to sew like a lot of you. My mom sewed. She used to beg us girls to stop playing with the presser foot under the table on her machine. It was just irresistible to press that little black button. And then I had some instruction in middle school in home ec. And then Mom really filled in the gaps in high school. And this is a piece of wood, by the way. Does this look weird?
I was wondering why you're holding bark over your eyes.
Well, it's bright out here. I guess I could do my hand. Okay. Mom encouraged me to go get my first sewing machine, a 1957 Singer featherweight, and I saved up $70 to buy it, and I have it to this day.
Still going strong?
I adore that little machine. It's a straight stitch, and it just whips up on any other machine that does a straight stitch.
How often does your daughter say, "No, Mom, that's mine"?
Candace is extremely supportive. Anytime she comes to the house, I say, "Hey, do you want to see my new fabric?" Like she has a choice. She has chosen some things on her last visit over that she wants me to make her, and she's very patient because I owe her something that she chose a year ago.
Well, that cuts into the next question. How do you have the time?
How do I have the
Sometimes
time?
maybe you don't.
Well, I do have the time because I'm in a really good place. Brad's folks are up in years, but they are healthy. They still travel. They live very close by, and I know that that could change. My youngest is getting ready to graduate high school. You might have seen Colin took your place in the Makes video.
Oh yeah.
Did you
substitute?
Did you catch it or not yet?
I did.
Okay.
The shirt looked a bit big on him.
It did look big. So yeah, the kids are launched, you might say, and when he graduates, that's going to end a 20-year homeschool career for me. So I'm so grateful I have sewing because it's, it gives me an identity when I feel as a mom, your identity gets shaken up a bit, particularly when they grow up and move out. And sewing has just filled that gap, and I absolutely adore it.
Very good. How do you choose what to wear every day?
I will wear dresses when I have nowhere to go. I'll wear a nice pantsuit when I'm sitting at home. If I'm going to the grocery, I don't wear a party dress to the grocery, but I just choose stuff that I've made. I used to bypass the stuff I had made, and I don't do that anymore. I wear it all. I wear it all because you know what? If you've put the time in to sew it, wear it, and you're gonna start to love it.
And you always look nice.
Thank you, honey.
Sorry, what fabric did you use for the New Look suit?
For the New Look suit in my March Makes, I'll put the number up of the pattern. I used a double knit textured suiting. It had stretch, it was very beefy, and a joy to work with. And it came from Fabric Mart.
And it looks fantastic. Do you make muslins or toilets? I know you don't make toilets.
No, it's not toilets, honey.
Walls?
Toiles. I do not make muslins. I do not make toiles.
What is a toile?
A toile is a mock-up,
Okay.
you know, a practice run where you don't put all the details into the garment, but you sew up the main seams, try it on, and see how the fit is going. And I'm a great admirer of people who do, but you got to consider too, I don't buy super expensive fabrics and I don't buy super expensive patterns. So I just cut into both. I know how to choose my size based on my high bust, not high bust, full bust. Stop laughing. And, you know, sometimes it doesn't work out exactly, but that's the way I do it.
Inexpensive serger.
Inexpensive
Question mark.
serger, well, it's going to be the Brother 1034D, of course. That's a little workhorse serger. You can get it probably for less than $200. I think we got mine from Amazon for that. Fabulous machine.
Next up, can you finish the sleeves of 7122 like you did the neckline?
That was the little knit dress in my March makes, and I did the neckline with bias binding. You're noticing a theme. I could finish the sleeves with bias binding. However, it would make them stiff, and I kind of like how they folded over. Knits can be left raw because they don't ravel. So in that dress, I did not finish the sleeves, but yes, you can finish sleeves and hems with bias binding, but it will give them structure.
And
Are we on the last one?
sort of, would you stand still? Would you please stand still while you were modeling the clothes?
I can't stand still.
That seems counterintuitive. I mean, models on the runway certainly don't stand still, for crying out loud.
No, I think I have to move. Is that a dog? Is he on a leash? Okay. Oh,
He's
good
okay.
grief. I've got to show the clothes in motion. And the whole MO of my makes videos are to show what the patterns look like sewn up and worn on a regular person. That's what I love to do. So I can't stand still. I could maybe slow down a little bit.
Slow posing,
Slow
not fast posing.
posing. But I do think I'm a little hyper in those makes videos.
Well, it's not quite a disco. You don't dance that much. Okay, so the bonus question,
Yes.
which we're not sure if we know what it means. Vogue stitching invisibly.
What is Vogue?
Question mark.
Yes, Vogue patterns. You know, we love them in the end, but they can throw you a curveball. And when they say stitch invisibly, as though everyone knows what that means, I don't really know what it means. I did look it up one time, and I thought, yeah, to heck with this. I'm not stitching invisibly. I think it's a hand stitch. But I don't have an answer really prepared for that one.
Perhaps the viewers could ring in.
They could ring in, yes, indeed.
Call 1-800.
Okay, any more questions?
That wraps it up.
That'll do it. This is one of my little journals that I bought at, I believe World Market was selling these, and they're so cute. They're just vintage patterns from McCall's, and they print the front and the back of the pattern. So that'll wrap it up for us today. We are so excited about tonight, Final Four. UVA is going to the Final Four. Can they beat Auburn?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to be cheering, and it's a good thing we made the video now because we're probably going to be hoarse tomorrow. So, best wishes to everyone. Thank you for joining me today here in the woods. I hope it's pretty where you are. And once again, blessings on you for all of your comments. This is Viv, Mom, and Brad signing off. Bye.